Blog Talk Radio.
Who they talking about? They talking about me. Serena Speaks. A hot new show coming to you straight out of Atlanta, Georgia. The king of the South. So you can say, I'm the queen. Bring you nothing but the best and the hottest talent from around the world. I'm your host, Serena, and I'm about to speak. Are you listening? Of course you are. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Serena Speaks. I'm your host, Serena, and it's my pleasure to bring you Big Sky tonight. And I just can't wait for my audience to hear this man's talent and to hear everything he has going on in all of his upcoming productions or projects. Before we get into the show, first and foremost, I would like to thank everyone out there in Atlanta in the independent music, film industry. You guys are great. I especially want to thank Sharon Ford, the very talented comedian, actress, she's so many things, a publisher. She's just so talented, writer. She's just so talented. And I had pleasure working with her on several projects, as well as Tangle and Twist, Atlanta Heat 2. I think Secured Tightly, but I wasn't in any of her scenes. But just working with her, whether I was working behind the scenes or in front of the camera, I am honored to even just stand on the stage or in front of anything with her, holding the boom or slating. It's the many things that I do behind the scenes. I'm just, honored. She, introduced me to Miss Wilhelmina Smith, and this is the writer of some great plays. Her play that she's doing now is a traveling play, so it's not just in one city. It is No More Strength, and this is an excellent play, and I want you guys to get out there and see it. The next upcoming production will be in Mississippi, and I can't wait to travel there. This is my first play, so I'm super excited. And I'm also in a comedic skit also as Shirley, and I haven't, got a chance to rehearse with my cast yet, but I did work with them in Tangled and Twisted. It is a production by the Mr. Shaheem Saheed, the great writer and director. So I'm happy about that. But I'm playing my newest part. Well, my newest role is Mrs. Jenkins, and I just can't wait to bring her to life and give her a little swag, the Southern swag. But let's get into the show. I just wanted to give Miss Wilhelmina Hampton Smith, her props for she wrote that play. When I tell you No More Pain, No More Strength is so just, it's big, it's vibrant, it's real, it's intelligent, it's deep, it's soulful, it's spiritual. It's hip, it's swagged out. It's so much. She's a great writer, and I want to thank her for this opportunity that she's given me to be in the play. So thank you, Miss Wilhelmina Smith. Thank you more, Sharon Ford, for even recommending me. So thank you, guys. And thank you, too, Shaheem, for considering me for a role in your upcoming project also. Let's get into the play. I'm sorry. I'm excited, guys. Let's get into the interview and welcome our most honored guest. Hi, caller.
Hey, how you doing?
All right,
Hello?
Big Sky, how are you?
I'm doing good. How
Hello?
you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm doing awesome. Yes, I can hear you well. You sound great. Thank you very much for coming today, taking time out of your busy schedule.
Not a problem at all. It's good to be on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you. First, I thanked you already. I want to just know more about you. I want my audience to understand you, where you're coming from, and the music that you write. You have been, honored to, do your music alongside of many artists. And you was influenced by so many artists growing up, like all of the mainstream hip artists that made rap what it is today. So like Big Daddy Kane, LL Cool J, Ice Cube, NWA, KRS-One. I mean, those are the main groups that founded. I know it started way before then in the 70s, but they really founded the modern
Absolutely. Hip-hop wouldn't be what it is today without them right there.
No, Absolutely. It would not, baby. No, it would not. So could you tell, and I love my guests that love to talk about themselves, especially one who's interested in you and handsome, may I just add.
Thank you.
I would love for you to tell my audience more about yourself.
I came from that generation. I'm in that same age group as those individuals right there. Been doing this for a long time. I'm an underground artist. Kind of took myself out the game about 10 years ago. Had my last record that kind of did well for me, and after that, things just started to, rap just started to become a little different, so I just fell back.
Commercial.
Yeah, it always had that to it, but it wasn't even a commercial thing. It just, for my age group, it just became a little, we got kind of pushed to the back, That's when the Soulja Boys and all these cats started rolling. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, I salute the new generation and everything they're doing, But, when you don't kind of fit, in the big scheme of the game, it just felt like, for me to pursue it on that level would be, confusing. So I just took myself out. But, when you do something you love, it's no different from like Kenny G playing the sax or, Quincy Jones producing, it doesn't matter how old you are. And I had to get back to, it's not about the business anymore. Now it's just strictly for the love of the game, love for the culture. And so, that's why I'm back at it, because it's not about any of that anymore. Just here to give back to the culture, because I love doing this. And I think, from my generation, I think we have a lot to contribute as far as giving these cats something to think about more in the music. Everything is more party right now. And I understand that has a place. But it just seems like everything's so unbalanced, everything is party. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean? I remember when I was coming up, the radio, when you turn on the radio, it was a balance,
Exactly.
You could hear Will Smith's Parents Just Don't Understand and LL Cool J's I Need Love or P.E.'s Fight the Power or all of these records, and it was a balance. But now it's just everything is party. You know what I'm saying? It's either Get Money records or Shake Your Booty records. And it's and I understand the mechanics behind that because it's a music business, and right now the music business is suffering. They're not selling records, so they focus their marketing dollars towards everything that does sell. Which in turn hurts artists who have are real artists. Yeah, exactly. Who are very lyrical and, have real points of views and, conceptual. So, but, the alternative part of that is we do have the internet these days, so you don't have to be restricted to just what's playing on the radio or what's in the club. You know what I mean? So, so I just came back on that note, and that's just one of the that's the reason I'm back in the game now. The new single I have, it's a very serious and controversial record.
Before we go into your new single,
right.
Could you please tell me a little bit about your single that when you left the game,
Oh, yeah. First of all, I've always been kind of a very controversial artist. Like I said, in the same lines with KRS Ones and Ice Cubes and cats like that when they first came out. You know, the newer generation probably wouldn't recognize that part of Ice Cube because he's such a fairly friendly type guy now. But when we came out, when I was coming up, Ice Cube was one of the most controversial artists that was ever out.
Yes, he was.
You know what I mean?
Fuck the police.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the last single I had that blew up was in 2004, and that was it was a song called "It's a Problem," and it was pretty much just venting my frustrations in the with the whole music industry. I'm calling out artists and record labels and radio at the same time, because of what I was seeing that was about to happen, and eventually happened. What we just finished talking about. You know what I mean? The fact that the game is just so one-sided now, and I feel like it's a lot of artists in certain positions that could do more, but because I don't understand whether it's the politics or whatever, but I just felt like it's something that I need to vent on, and I guess I struck a nerve because a lot of people started to feel, kind of rallied behind this record. So it did well for me. It was a gift and a curse at the same time because, when you go against everybody that's on top, then you kind of blackball yourself out the situation. What I mean? So,
I know exactly how
exactly. And, it's part of the game. And like I said, I do this strictly for the love of this. You know what I mean? It's not about anything else. And because I came up from that. You see, it's hard for people in the business, and especially young people that are just, coming up who didn't see hip-hop grow from where I saw it grow, to understand that, because they're so programmed to thinking that everything is catered around a marketing scheme or a gimmick that it's hard for them to understand that somebody would even do this strictly for the love of it. They never saw hip-hop on a level where artists weren't selling millions of records, where artists weren't, they was, weren't making this type of money, where artists had to beg and scratch and plead to get their records played on radio,
Exactly.
So it's hard for them to even understand an artist like myself who's like, I'm not looking for anything. I just want to, say what I got to say, and hopefully somebody will understand and somebody will feel what I'm talking about. And that's pretty much it, you know what I mean? And that was pretty much what it was with the last record. And, of course, I'm a very opinionated person, so the next record is controversial as well. So
love it.
But this record,
I love ruffling people's feathers. I mean,
it's just it just gets to a point, man, where, and I'm sure in your line of work you understand that people want to play they want to play along, to get along type thing, and people are scared to speak up about certain issues that they may know are wrong, but just to continue to eat. And I understand it from a certain degree, but like I said, when you get to a certain level, I believe that there's certain artists, when you get to a certain level, there's certain things that you can kind of control. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And certain artists, out here who, seem to be, and I think a lot of times, sometimes people get drunk on their own celebrity and kind of get surrounded by a bunch of yes men who continue to tell them, that you're the greatest, and and they feel like that they can get away with, or they're entitled to do or say whatever it is they feel. And this new record is called "Make God Bleed," and the title is not what you may think it is. The title came from a thought pattern I had. Because right now, like I said, I'm in my 40s, so I'm in a more mature state of mind. Going to church more, reading more, trying to be a better person. Trying not to stay in the streets no more and all that type of stuff. And when you start to finally open your eyes to a lot of things, you see things different and hear things different. And I've been noticing like it's a trend in hip-hop right now where everybody's using God as a marketing tool. You know, using religious phrases and biblical terms. And then you got rappers calling themselves
wide open.
Exactly. And then you got these artists calling themselves God. But the message that they're sending has absolutely nothing to do with salvation. And I don't want anybody.
What do you think about? I just want to ask you this right quick. Excuse me, because this is all about you right now. But I want to ask you, what do you think? No, it's not about. I really want to know, what do you think about Kanye's Jesus?
This is the record that I'm talking about. Directly goes at Kanye and Jay-Z. And I advise everybody who's listening to this and who are fed up with these type of rhetoric being thrown around just blatantly, and the use of God and religion and spirituality with no real foundation to it, to please go to YouTube and check out my video and understand what I'm talking about. It's called Make God Bleed. And I'm really coming at these cats because it's like you're influencing a generation of kids who may not know how to decipher what you're trying to do here. And then you don't really have any foundation.
They don't even know about God, most of them.
Exactly.
You know,
and then it's a constant contradiction. You know, you hear him in interviews as I'm a Christian, but then you're crying and going off about people giving you money. You know what I mean? And then you call yourself a God, and then you go on these rants and raves. The God that I know wouldn't do that. And then, what you're talking about is selling people a superficial lifestyle based all around money. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for both of them. That's Jay-Z too. And he has a new record on the Holy Grail record. And see, that's what I'm saying. All these titles, Holy Grails and Yesuses and all this, I am a God. And Jay-Z has a record on the Holy Grail called Heaven, where he's just throwing around religious stuff like it's nothing. In one line he says, you can tell your preacher he's a preacher. I'm a mother effing prophet. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And he says these are not 16s, these are verses from the Bible. And it's like, dude, what do now 3 or 4 years ago I would have cared less.
Where's the respect?
Exactly.
What is the respect?
But
this is respect.
And then when somebody and this is where the politics come in, the politics and rap music that come in, like I was saying, that these young generation is so used to. Because when a guy like me comes in, hasn't sold millions and millions of records, come in and talks about this, the first thing people say who may not be clairvoyant enough to see what I'm trying to get at will say is, well, who is he to diss Jay-Z? He hasn't sold as many records. He hasn't got this much money. And I'm like, what is that? When did that start to matter? Why did I have to be anybody to voice a strong opinion? You know what I mean? Why do I have to sell any amount of records or have any amount of gold chains or a Bentley or whatever to state my opinion? When did that become a policy in hip-hop? You know what I mean? The generation I came from, it didn't matter who you were. If you felt like you disagreed with somebody, you could say that to anybody as long as you had a strong opinion and a point of view and the facts to follow it up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And these cats out here, and this is the thing. That's the status that they're hiding behind, and it all comes from the record labels because the record labels are trying to protect their investment. So what the first thing they'll do is stick a publicist on it and say, well, shut him down. He ain't sold this many records. He ain't this, because they're trying to protect their investment, and I understand that. But what they're doing is straight wrong. And ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You know what I mean? And like I said, 3 years ago, I could have cared less. You know what I mean? I was running wild in the streets. It was whatever. But when you start to educate yourself and you try to take that path towards God, you start hearing things different. The perception in life starts to change. And what I'm seeing is just wrong. You know what I mean? And it's not just them. It's a lot of other cats. You know what I'm saying? Making songs like Amen and, but like and every time there's a lot of bad bitches in the club. Amen. Come on, what is that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And they're just walking, and they're getting, and they going by, and ain't nobody saying nothing. And then you get the Christians who are like, we're just going to pray for them, and I understand that. It's not their place, I guess, to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not totally there with Kirk Franklin and Lecrae yet. I'm still got a lot of street in me. So, from where I'm at right now,
let me just
I'm going to say something.
Let me just say this. It does not matter the lifestyle that you live. It does not matter what you do. It does not matter what you're into. God is for all of us. And you know what? He wants the sinners better than he wants the saints, because every saint used to be a sinner, so he wants the sinners.
Thank you. Absolutely.
And we're not perfect. We're not nowhere
not
near.
At all. Not at all. Not at all. And nobody's perfect. And I'm not. And it's not.
Respect.
It's not, and I think it's just a lack of focus and a lack of genuine people around them. Somebody to say, you know what, this is wrong, dude. You're going a little too far with this. You know what I mean? But because everybody wants to protect their jobs, hey, we're gonna let it go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, what you're doing is wrong, man. And I'm gonna do everything I can to say to let you know that. And I don't have any hate or any malice towards any of these guys. I think both of them are great artists. I think they're misguided from this point of view, though. And somebody needs to check them. You know what I mean? And somebody really needs to check them. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, please encourage your listeners to go on YouTube and check that video out. And if everybody's feeling what we're doing, please, rally behind this cause, because it's just getting out of control. We don't have, we already behind the gun as black people here. And one thing we did always have was our faith. And we put that on a higher pedestal than other people did. And now it's we're just stepping all on that, because now we're starting to come up. We got a black president, and now a lot of more black people are making money and being successful, and now we're going to step on our faith just to get to that next level. But I'm going to tell everybody out here who feels like that, let me explain something to you. You can't buy your way into heaven with the same money you sold your soul with.
Exactly. You just said a mouthful. You just said a mouthful. And you know what? It's so sad, because our younger generation, they're not even going to be able to grasp the concept that you have just sold upon us.
Exactly.
They're not going to be able to grasp.
And it's crazy, man. And that's the biggest concern of mine. You're going to have these kids coming up. I can decipher the difference of what you're doing. But there's a lot of kids out there that are lost, that don't have nobody to really break that down to them, that this is just entertainment.
It hasn't been taught.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it's just, man, like I said, when I came up, man, when you talked about God, it was serious. You made a point to, it had to be something behind that. And it just wasn't just thrown out there just to be thrown out there. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy, man. So That's why I'm really on this, you know what I mean? And like I said, I don't want nobody to get it twisted. I'm not a gospel rapper. I don't, but I just feel in my spirit that this is wrong. And, it's something I felt like I need to speak on.
You might not be a gospel rapper, but you are a real rap artist.
I'm definitely
that. Stands for something. That stands for something. This music
and that's what's missing in this game right now. That's what we're missing. We don't have the KRSs and the Ice Cubes and the Chuck D's anymore. Everything that hip-hop, everything that hip-hop used to fight against is now everything these rappers strive to do.
Mm-hmm.
Hip-hop was against selling out the culture. Now that's what we strive to do from day one. All these rappers, the first thing they want to do is whatever they can just to make it. If that means I'm going to rap like this, I'm going to rap like this guy. You know what I mean? And everybody's trying to do the same music.
There's too many ass kissers in the game. When you got money, it's like Lil Wayne. Somebody was in that damn crowd of his. You got a whole entourage of people, and no one telling this nigga, look, man, take off them skinny jeans. Ain't nobody told him that.
Exactly.
I don't get
and then what? And then what's up with these cats wearing dresses now? Where in the hell do they do that shit at? I'm telling you, the culture is really in.
I'm confused.
Exactly.
I think I'm more confused than they are. Because they want people to feel like they are so hard. But this nigga came out on fucking stage with a skirt on. Like, what the?
Yeah, exactly.
I thought maybe
I'm telling you, Serena, you need to do yourself a favor and look at that video. I'm addressing all of that.
I am going to look at it.
Please tell us, viewers, your listeners, please listen to this song. I'm telling you, this song and this video is going to change your perspective on where hip-hop is right now. It's going to bring you back to what it's supposed to be. Because what I'm doing ain't nobody else doing right now.
But they're running from the realness. You remember when we was young? You know, back in the day, you might heard the beat and you bounced to the beat, but them niggas was giving you messages on life.
Thank you.
How to live.
Nobody's speaking about nothing no more.
That's why every song, I don't care about street, but NWA, they was one of the.
But even the street cats had something that had a point of view. Exactly. And it had a strong message. It wasn't just glorifying what they were doing. It was talking about the pain and the hurt and the struggle and giving you a reason and insight to make you understand why it is they're doing it. So even if you disagree with it, you can understand that. These cats are just talking about, everybody's a super hustler, selling 10 bricks a week and, got mad money out there. I mean, come on, dude. I'm a street dude. I know what's going on out here. Ain't nobody moving no work like that no more.
The game's slow now.
I done been out there. Ain't nobody got work like that no more. I don't care what none of these cats say.
Because half of them are going to prison right now. But
half of them snitching, going to prison, getting hemmed up.
Not what it was. Exactly. The game is not what it was, so that's a lie. And you selling these kids.
It sure is. And I just want to put put some type of perspective on what's going on to people, because people have gotten so used and programmed to just accepting what they're given. Because a lot of these rappers, I see a lot of, and it hurts because I know a lot of cats that are my age who are just accepting certain rappers like, oh, he ain't that bad. And I'm like, dude, this dude is whack. But I understand because they don't have anything else to listen to. And you get tired of listening to all the old music. You want to hear something new. You know what I mean? So you accept these cats that you know ain't hot. But, hey, man, you know what? I ain't got nothing else to listen to.
I've been checking out Jay-Z, the Holy Grail, his song Tom Ford. You can put anything, a hook with any beat, and these fools will go bad.
Exactly. Let's be 100. Let's be 100. 10 years ago, if Jay-Z had dropped Tom Ford, you would have laughed his ass out the club. Like, dude, you really made that simple-ass record? Jay-Z would never have put that out. But it's all about keeping up with what's going on. And, and that means dumbing down yourself to keep up with what's going on. Come on, dude. You are at the White House now. You are in a better position than anybody in the game to influence the game and bring it back to something. Why are you trying to keep up with these young niggas? You know what I mean? That is the most disheartening thing to me in the world when a grown 40-some-year-old man is trying to keep up with a 20-year-old dude's flow. Come on, man. You're supposed to influence him.
Your groundwork. Exactly. Because you already laid the groundwork.
Yeah, so it's like, why are you doing that, man? That shit sounds stupid. I can't stand that damn record. I can't stand that shit, man. That shit drives me nuts, man. Yeah, man, like, really? Come on, dog. You ain't had nothing. You was bored as shit to make that record. Damn, man, that shit.
Exactly. But he knew. The funny part
he knew, but he, exactly. He's following he's just following the formula that he knows these cats are going to like. And that's, man, and that's whack. It changed the game.
Do you remember when the music used to be so lyrical?
So lyrical and so soulful. Literally, we used to groove. We had a groove to our music. Now everything is just jump, jump, chop, chop, bang, bang. It ain't no groove to it. You know what I mean? It was more melodic. You know, now everything is just all over the place. I mean, you got a few. Let me not bash. Let me back up because I don't want to bash this whole new generation because there are a lot of hot cats out. I get up to Kendrick Lamar and the J. Cole's and the Lupe Fiascos and cats like that that really do put out quality music, that do have messages in their music. Let me not bash everybody. It's just that the ones that you hear the most are the ones that they push the most. You know what I mean?
But do you remember when rap artists used to come out like LL or Will Smith and I when they spoke, not just them, but I'm just using them, you know, Kool Moe Dee even. Just everyone of that nature. Cast R1. You know, they always said words that you never heard before. And it made the people in the street go pick up a dictionary.
Go look up what's going on. And not only that, these cats. And then not only that, when you spoke to these cats, you were talking to a human. You could hear every word clearly. They were articulate. A lot of these rappers now, I can't look at the interviews or listen to them. It's like, oh my God, who is this on here? Because you can't understand them. No, and they trying to sound. They think they sounding so hard and cool. It's like, dude, you sound like an idiot.
Retarded.
You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. You know, everybody's following what they think people want them to be instead of being themselves. And that was the thing about my generation that I'm proud that I came from. People were happy to be themselves. Rappers were glad to be them. That's why it was so much diversity in the music.
More.
Exactly.
Yes,
that's why you had you could have LL and the Fresh Prince and Chuck D and Fight the Power Movement and NWA all in one show. Yeah. And all of them were different. You know what I mean? Yeah. But everybody understood because you wanted that variety. You know what I mean? But now, it's just, like I said, it's just an imbalance in the game. Everything is just so one-sided. And, again, I understand it's the money.
I remember when education meant something to our people.
When it meant something,
because
absolutely.
We knew that if we did not get this education, that we could not stand a chance against those white people. We knew that.
Absolutely.
You know? But now it's just like the highest grade they get to is the 5th grade. If they get to that, I mean, it's sad.
It's sad, man. And then, but this is what's sadder is hip hop is a culture, and I think people forget that hip hop is a culture.
Exactly, they do.
And what people forget is rap is the voice of the culture. So whatever speaks to the culture defines it. And that's why our generation came up with those same values you just talked about. And why this generation is hurting. Because look at what the voice is saying to them. When the voice of your culture is telling you, is not feeding you anything to stimulate your mind or make you think differently, then how are you going to thrive in living in that culture?
Modern day slavery. It's modern day slavery. It's no.
Absolutely. They have dumbed down the culture. Even back in our day, girls had more respect for themselves. Now you had a few freaks and wild chicks here and there, but for the most part, girls had a lot of respect and dignity for themselves. They weren't going to be talked to any kind of way.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Now these cats can run up on them and talk to them like whatever, and it's acceptable. You know what I mean? Because of the dumbing down and the music and the voice of the culture is not speaking to the culture and bringing them up. They just keep on keeping them where they at and putting them down.
Can I just say this? It's not even about the culture. It's not speaking to their spirit. It's not trying to make them better themselves or be, a better person. It's just making them want to twerk. And if I shake my ass, whop it a little bit better, that nigga over there gonna give. You know what? I'm a boss. I want my own. I pull up right now today, and I'm not bragging on myself. It's just that this is my mentality. Nigga, you can't give me nothing that I cannot give myself. You know what I'm saying? So when I pull up, I have all eyes on me. This no lie, all eyes on me. Women be looking at it thinking it's a nigga first off when I pull up. But, you know, and I had the niggas online just like they hoes. You know what I mean? And I'm being real.
There you go.
You know
and that's right. And that's
they want to know who finna get out this charger. They want to know who finna get out this car. You know, and it be
That's
me.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You know, and the women be looking like, "Why? I thought that was a no, baby. Get your own. Don't. You won't be at a bus stop looking for a nigga to pull up on you in a nice car. Get your own ride.
That's
you
right.
Know,
That's right. Don't sit back and wait for nobody to do nothing for you, man. And like you said, that the music we had spoke to that, and it inspires you to be that. Now this stuff, I don't know what they doing. It's just like you ain't got to do that. Just be in the hood. We're going to rep the hood all till we die. All right? You know what I mean?
It's really sad. And it's a new thing. Well, it's new to me. I didn't know about it. To, a friend of mine, a director friend of mine told me, what the girls are doing out here. I'm not gay, so I don't know. And I don't have a dick, so, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But,
right.
But, and he said, listen to the music. He said, this shit been out. I'm being honest with you. And I know I'm sorry, but I'm married 20 years. I mean, I'm married 17, I wasn't 20, so I wasn't really out there in the street. I didn't know. Right. He was like, listen to the music. And so I listened to a few songs, and the one song that caught my eye was, he was like, man, if your hoe don't swallow kids, then that whole basic. I'm like, what? It just threw me. I didn't get what he was saying. But these chicks are going around out here swallowing these nasty niggas' cum. And wonder why they throat hurt, their throat swollen, it's got a lump in it, and, they sick one day and coughing another day, nose running. You know what I mean? You never know. Your mouth smelling like fish instead of your pussy. You don't know if you're coming or going, because you're doing everything backwards. You know
that's
what I'm
right.
saying?
That's exactly right.
It's crazy. It got 13, 12-year-old girls giving out, this no lie, giving out head classes in gym, in school. And this is no lie.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Serious?
So, I'm very serious. And the state of the Atlanta women, and the women, period, in this day and time is just sad. The very
that's real.
thing.
Now, we can't even limit it to blacks or anything. It's across the board.
That's right.
I had to say that. It ain't even just a black thing. It's across the board. White, Italian, Asian. They all the same.
Women are winning business. Shit,
it's all the same. Yeah, exactly. Yep. It's all the same. It's like, don't nobody. It's just like open season. Like, we're gonna do what we want. I'm like, wow. When did this happen? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is crazy.
That's right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. See, the system is set up for us to fail. And see,
Absolutely.
The white man, and I'm not prejudiced. I have very good white friends. Everybody not like them, though. You know what I'm saying? And it's people not being Illuminati and then like that, conspiracy theory. I'm just saying it's people that want us to set ourselves up to, it's set up for us to fail, period.
Absolutely.
So they want us to fail. I just read an article recently talking about, a meeting that a lot of big artists today and big artists then was invited to at a mansion with a whole bunch of music industry, big heads.
Oh, I read that.
You read that?
And the dude was telling them that the record companies are going to invest in gangster rap now. And I saw that.
Talk about killing people and, give no stuff
to help fund private prisons.
Yes.
To help fund the private prisons.
You read the same article.
Yeah, absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. And I believe, and I know a lot of people probably listen and like, they conspiracy theories. What I believe. Listen, let me explain something to you. Conspiracies are everywhere, and unless you understand that, you don't understand how the world works. You know what I mean? Me and her right here on this radio can conspire to do something tonight or tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Conspiracy is just a thought that you share with everybody and you implement that plan. And so if you don't think that the government is not trying to keep everything, it's about keeping control. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna have what they had in the 50s and 60s happen again.
They know that they feel like, you remember when they were saying music is just a fad, they was trying to cut rap out when Ice Cube, not Ice Cube, but Ice-T made Fuck the Police, blah, 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 NWA,
the Cop Killer record.
Made, exactly. So, they knew, I believe that guy when he said it, because they know that the music affects the generation.
Influence, exactly.
So they knew. Yep. They knew that. But you know what? I want you to come back, Big Si. I want you to come back. We're running out of time. I want them to hear your music. You are so
Absolutely.
We need you. The music industry needs you, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to play your music. Because we've been
please
talking
play
the
it,
whole
Make God Bleed, and please, everybody, go to YouTube and check out that video, Big Sty, that's Biggsty, Make God Bleed. I'm telling you that the video and the music is going to change your life and your perspective on what's going on right now. I promise you.
All right, guys. Listen to him, and we're going to have him back on hopefully next week, if that's not a problem. You know what I'm saying?
That's not a problem. You just let me know. I'm there.
Okay. Well, we're going to go into Make God Bleed, and this is an awesome artist that I am blessed to interview with so much to say to you guys. So I hope you just take him in because we need him because you guys are lost. You're lost. I'm sorry to say
You're lost.
But
Exactly.
This is May God Bleed. And if this close, cut off or anything, don't worry about it. We're coming back because we're running out of time. So I'm going to go on and play his song. But you are the shit, Big Si, and I want you back, baby.
Not a problem. Just let me know when. I'm here.
All right. This is May God Bleed, guys.
If you can make God bleed, then people will cease to believe in him. And there will be blood in the water, and the sharks will come.
Whoever controls your actions and controls your activities to the point that you follow those things, that's who your master is. It don't matter that you're sitting in a tent. You gotta understand, God is not being fooled.
So bow your heads, let us pray. I'm about to say what these other rappers are scared to say. Cause I've been noticing a trend these days. Couple cats been using God's name and biblical cliches. Calling themselves over and Jesus. Spending money you ain't gotten, balling is all they teach us. But these devils is liars. And I just got one question for these so-called messiahs. If you can make God bleed, how many people would still believe? If you can make God bleed, think about it. I swear money and fame got your boy Kanye slipping. He named his album Jesus. I was like, this tripping. You calling yourself a god? Stop lying to yourself. Homie, you need to crawl up on the cross and crucify yourself. Look, dog, grow a pair. Stop acting like a son. You used to cry at award shows whenever you ain't get one. And now you think you God and name yourself after his son. You thought all the real was gone, but homie, you missed one. And now you dating Kim. Even got a baby with her, but every from the NFL to the NBA done hit her. She got industry hoe. My Ray J even hit it too. Why you think Jay and Beyonce never go on double dates with you? You used to be fresh, now here you rockin' nylon. And you bragging to cats like you some type of fashion icon. But I don't know no dudes in the hood dressing like he dresses. I ain't lying, look at this video. This dude be wearing dresses. And homie, that shit cray. That shit cray. I even heard Elton John saying that shit gay. Now everybody looking at Jay and he like, well, that's just Jay. You wanna give people a reason to talk and that just may. So you done too many white chicks, I had too many espressos. Cause now this dude think he can turn hip-hop into techno. You probably ain't religious, you just using God as a topic to sell a product. But the message you saying is the total opposite. Yeah, you ballin', but ain't nobody trying to find you. Homie, we just wanna remind you that money doesn't define you. See, I ain't gotta follow politics, so I can't go too far. And I'm probably a bigger asshole than you think you are. Cause since your mom passed, you hide behind your jewelry and new cars. So I'ma sum this verse up for you in these last 2 bars. They used to call you a genius, you ain't heard that in a minute. Now all you can do is watch the throne, cause you ain't sitting in it. Question, if you can make God bleed, how many people would still believe? If you can make God bleed, let's keep it moving. Now enough about Ye. Your boy Jay sounding out of touch. Cause homie, that holy grail is looking more like a paper cup. I seen the video commercials he had on YouTube. He tried to explain it and even had Timberland looking confused. Now he talking about Picasso, baby. He forgot about all the Walmart and Costco, baby. What about the Roscoe chicken and waffle, baby? You're losing connection with all the street apostles.